Remix. 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 Remix.
Welcome out. This is the Remix Morning Show right here on Black Liberation Media. In case you didn't know, I go by the name of the Ear Doctor, here to bring that boom bap breakfast right here, right now on the 7th of October. Let's get into it. Let me introduce you to our host with the most. He goes by the name of Evan and Renee Johnston.
What's good? What's good?
You see how the other host was like, "Oh, word, we got other hosts. I ain't coming on time."
I swear that was Mal's plan the whole time. I know now.
You see how I get down?
I know now.
It's not slick. What's good, y'all? How y'all today?
Doing good.
Feeling good, feeling great. How are you, Renee?
Exactly.
I'm
Renee,
all right. I'm here.
All right, that means
Tuesday mornings be rough, man. It's rough.
Rougher than Mondays? I thought you getting the swing by now.
Nah.
Nah? Well, I
Because
guess
at least I feel like Monday, although who likes a Monday, but at least like you spent the weekend trying to do something that wasn't getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
It's a little bit of a shock to the system. But then Tuesday is like, damn, I gotta do this shit again. Like, already?
It's true.
You're not in the flow of it. Like, I feel like by Wednesday, you're like a hump day. You're like, okay, like I'm like halfway. I can get through the week. But Tuesdays are rough.
Right. And then Thursday, you're like, all right, I just gotta make it one more day.
Facts.
But Tuesday is like the reminder that like this capitalism shit sucks. It's just for the birds.
Yeah, Alex, we don't hate Mondays or Tuesdays. We hate capitalism.
See, I love Mondays.
Yeah.
Monday is my day off.
Oh, well, that's the day. But Monday's also the day you do your group, like your organizing.
Yeah, Black Man Lab. Yeah, that too. But Monday is like my Saturday, Sunday. Like I get up and clean and do the thumbnails and everything, get it ready for the show, and yeah, it's a beautiful day.
Okay, so you're like a black business. You're closed on Monday.
I mean, well, I work on Fridays through Sundays.
That's real.
So I work 3 days a week usually. And I can't be a capitalist, can I? There's no way I could be a capitalist if I only work 3 days a week, right?
Not based on the definition, not based on how much you work. None of it.
Exactly. And I'm hanging around with you guys, so it's definitely.
Like in the club when they see these videos.
So
no.
What up? One time you had broken down like how you do the thumbnails, and I prompt. Are you still on that same? Like, is it that same like?
Oh, are you interested?
I am.
Okay.
Actually.
Okay. Well, so let's look at it. Let's give y'all a little preview of what we got coming up. So today is, national. We most likely gonna talk about old boy, right? Something happened. The industry shakedown, meaning that they just had they shut down last week, right?
The government still shut down. I think.
Yeah, they're still shut down.
Yeah.
So I looked at that as an industry shakedown. Okay, so tomorrow we got world peace, but peace is not spelled like the regular peace. There is it?
I'm so glad that was intentional.
Oh, y'all thought it wasn't? Oh boy, y'all are so disrespectful to me.
I didn't know. I didn't really know what the plan was. I was like, okay.
Everybody wants to get a piece of that land over there. So world peace. All right. So you like that? Okay, let's keep it going. And then I always do these by songs too. I'm locked up, don't let me out. There we go. We got 4 years for Diddy. And World Peace is a song by BDP, Boogie Down Production. But I switched it up. And then no, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. We ain't go there yet. Okay, what's Thursday? Oh, we did Thursday. Lock me
We
up.
just did, yeah.
And then Friday, take me through there, take me through there. That's a younger song. You don't know nothing about
So
that.
it's a national theme, an international
The
theme,
theme,
a music theme, and then a sports theme.
Bam! You on it, Renee?
All right, I got it.
Yeah, because there's so many different things you can pull from, these pictures. I was thinking about this dude right here, just how, he's definitely about the younger crowd, and Friday is for a younger audience with our host. So cheerio. This is the way the mind thinks. So now y'all can see that it ain't just.
I appreciate you letting us behind the curtain.
Hey,
yeah.
Welcome to the eyes.
Thank you.
All right. So other than that, yeah, I guess we got some news to talk about and things. I didn't really get my break all the way done, but I got something put together.
You're not gonna ask us about our weekends and nothing like that, or how
I was waiting for you to ask me about mine, but go ahead. How was your weekend, Evan? so me. Go ahead, Evan. How was your weekend? Go ahead, Evan. How was it?
My weekend was great. Highlight was Friday night getting to do the Know Your Rights Plus session at Sankofa. It went really well. Got a lot of good feedback. Know Your Rights Plus, because we did tactical rights, like what you need to know tactically. We did what you need to know when they inevitably violate your rights. We need to give you historical context, international context, right? So it was very much Know Your Rights Plus, and I think we really got a lot out of it. So that was my highlight for it.
Okay, sounds good. Renee.
Actually, Saturday's show was really good. We had Brian Koba on, and we also had some comrades from BAP who came back. I think they did Remix on Thursday, and then they came back on Saturday and talked a little bit more about the month of action. But we ended up getting into a really good conversation about like organizing within our communities with all the other things that become a problem when you start organizing. The egos, the money, all the things. And so it was a good conversation, actually.
What did you learn? If you could speak up a little bit. Does it sound a little low to you, Evan?
A little bit.
I could, see, look, y'all was all making fun of me about being able to switch to the phone. Hold on, let's see if I can do something about the audio.
Yeah, I was impressed. You figured it out.
Yeah.
Listen,
yeah. We all were.
I am not. This is not my forte.
Forte.
Listen,
yeah.
no. I'm not.
All right.
But anywho.
Yeah.
So what did you learn? What was your basic thing you pulled from the conversation?
The biggest thing is that we really have to find a way to work around the generational trauma that comes into play whenever you're trying to organize with people, because
all right,
some stuff. I shared some screenshots from one of my group chats, and
that was crazy.
Was mad unhinged. Yeah, he was unhinged, and it's still going. He's mad unhinged, and he's just angry. Yeah, he's just angry, and
you're not even responding anymore. Like, what is he?
I realized everybody. He's mad at everybody. He's mad because he feels like he's being dismissed. But he's being dismissed because he's acting unhinged, not because anyone's
who you talking about
in disagreement. It's just it's somebody in one of my group chats.
Oh, call him out. Call him out.
Through messages. This fool was sending Renee fucking crazy messages. You know what I'm saying? Like, while like I'm surprised he even got a couple of like responses from Renee where she was like trying to like bring him along, but it was wild. I mean, yeah. So.
Tell Mr. Jerkins lotion to chill out. He
Jerkins.
ain't doing nothing.
But one of the things that always concerns me is when people say things that are like just wildly, oh my God, like, do you read anything? It makes me worried because I just feel like at the least people should be if you're in an organization that's supposed to be about working towards the collective liberation of Black people and you're not reading and you're not watching like alternate news and you're not at least making an attempt to understand what's happening internationally, which is why we shouldn't be like US focused, like this whole like American exceptionalism that some Black folks are like holding on to is mind-boggling to me. And so, like this last thing was like, F Pan-Africanism. And I'm like, you're talking about an ideology that includes you. Like, like whether you agree with it or not is irrelevant. It literally includes you. And then he's like, and fuck the African Union and fuck CARICOM. And I'm like, and now you're naming governmental agencies that are in bed with the US, which has nothing to do with the collective liberation of Black people. Like, please go read something. Like, you've got to be kidding me. Hey. And then it was, and nobody did anything at the UN. So now because I'm snarky, and I admit it, like I don't like people who act ignorant. It drives me crazy. And so I shared a report that I've written extensively on that was a commission that was done by the UN that included rapporteurs and researchers from the Caribbean and Africa that was all about racist police violence in the US. Like, that was the entire point of the report, was to call out the US. And so I'm like, can you just stop talking out your ass? Like, you have no idea what you're saying. You're just rambling because you're upset. And we got to stop doing that. But then I tried to remember that Brian said to me, like, people are traumatized. So whenever you're in these spaces, you have to remember that we're traumatized. We have to work on our collective trauma. And so I tried to say it nicely, but I don't know if that worked really. But
hey, speaking of not reading, man, my man Dr. John Henry Clark said, I only debate my equals. I wouldn't even waste my time with this dude.
For real, like, it wasn't a debate. It was Renee trying to like help him. I don't know, man. Like, trying to like bring him along. Like, it wasn't. He was so, at least from what I saw, he was so irrational, so kind of, and definitely making wild personal attacks. Like, I'm genuinely surprised Renee had the composure to like respond as well as she did. Like the first couple of, back, and then she was like, okay, like I'm not gonna do this anymore with you. But yeah, I mean, that's, I don't know.
But when we get to like the Israeli level tantrum where you're calling me names and like cursing at me, but telling me that I'm disrespectful at the same time, like I can't, the Israeli level of like, I'm the aggressor, but I'm complaining about being aggressed against. Like I'm not really good with that stuff. So once I know that you're coming at me from a place where you're so angry about whatever it is that you're angry about that you can't even see how absurd you sound. And part of this is also, I think he's just mad that I'm a woman who has the audacity to speak, but I read. So there's no reason for me not to speak. You know what I'm saying? Like, I read. So if you say something that's not based in history, in fact, or historical relevance, or it's clear that you haven't opened a fucking book in I don't even know how long, like I'm just not really, and it's more also for the other 100 people in that chat.
Yeah.
That, they also see that like there are ways to manage when you're traumatized and you're angry about stuff that doesn't have to include you belittling people and cursing at people and then telling them that they're disrespectful. Like that's too much contradiction for me.
No, that's real. That's fascinating. I mean, and everything you're saying makes sense, but at the end of the day, I just think you need to respect your elders, because when someone who's 98, I guess, comes at you, It's like I don't need to read because I experienced it all. So I was like, okay, yes, that's where you're coming from, you know.
Yeah, that was a wild one. I'm twice your age. I was like, okay, if
True.
you think so,
Word.
cool.
Ear doctor, how was your weekend?
Oh, I like that, man. I see growth. I see growth like right in front of my eyes within minutes. It was all right. DJ from 10 in the morning Saturday to 12 at night. I did a what was it? I did a breakfast spot. And then I did a 50th birthday party from this chick from Queens, New York. So I got to play a bunch of reggae. She was from Jamaica. Got to play some soca. Got to play some old school hip hop, R&B, old school everything. So it was good. My daughter went to her little what was it, homecoming. So she's looking good. I was nice dress, simple and everything. I had her little nails done. I was like, look at my little girl.
Do you help her pick it out or anything like that?
Huh?
You help her pick out the dress?
Oh no. That's her and her mom doing
Okay.
it. But yeah, it was good. And then I think I forget what I did for the rest of the weekend. I think I just chilled. Yeah. So that was it. And now I'm here ready for some Remix Morning Show. I see ain't nobody else called. Let me check my phone. Maybe they text.
You never know. You never know. Somebody might need
Nope. Not at all. They did not text. All right. So I guess we have access to stories over here. Yeah,
we do. I looked at the I don't know how we're gonna pull it up, but I did look at the run sheet. There's some things that I think we can talk about. I want to respect Erica's work. So
I try to get them to do that every week, Evan, but you know.
Is there anything about the 2-year anniversary that's on that run sheet?
That's what?
Well,
about
today is the 2-year anniversry of the kickoff of genocide.
Damn, you're absolutely right. I did not even. Yeah, you're right. There's nothing about the 2-year anniversary in there. No.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, maybe somebody like Kim Brown.
Hey, good morning.
Look,
Hey,
Kim heard you mocking her.
Exactly.
Kim got that. Y'all need to step y'all mic game up. Kim mic is sounding crisp.
I'm not a professional.
Whoa! Why? Yo, Kim, I'm just giving you mic props. It sound good. How you today?
But it sounded like you was talking shit right before I got on, though. I mean, is that accurate?
Not at all. The fact that I didn't get a text or anything, that was me talking shit.
Oh, well, no, you were just speaking facts.
Thank you.
Speaking facts.
You're looking good today, Kim. You look like you're going to a ball or something. I like
a ball. Dress. That's exactly where I'm headed. 8 a.m. Tuesday morning to the ball. Renee's on her way to pick me up. Renee, I'm gonna be outside. I'm gonna come out front and meet you. I'm gonna hop in the back.
A gala.
Probably at 10:30 a.m.
Yeah. You're looking funky, fresh, dressed to impress, ready to party. I'll tell you who else is ready to party. Come out here, Franklin.
Oh, shit.
I'm here for the party. Where's the party? The party.
I sent Kamau a song yesterday, and he ignored me.
You sent me a song?
I did. I sent you a song. I texted you a song yesterday.
Oh, it's not that I ignored you.
I just ignored you.
I did not know.
I just didn't respond to the message that had my name on it.
I did not see the message. Phones are transitory. You know, what is this connection we have?
Wait a minute. What is that word? Transitory?
Oh, shut
up. They're not really like, we shouldn't be connected or just, we shouldn't be like always on these devices. I'm one of those people who believe that.
Speak.
With his list, his word list.
He's got a list. Okay.
Yeah. But see, Kamau, you also have others. You have other people monitoring the social media streets, looking out for your name. So if people is talking shit about you, people will come back and tell you, which is a good thing.
People do tell me, and it happens a lot. People tell me. I'd be thinking I'm living a quiet life, B. I be trying to live a quiet, organizing life. And then I've done people wrong. I was like,
You
what?
out here, name getting dragged. Kamau has no idea. That's me too. I'm like, is niggas mad? I didn't even
I
know.
did what I do.
I had no idea.
I had no idea when I gave you money that would make you mad. My bad. My bad. Don't get me started. Ooh, it's early in the morning. Don't get me
Apparently, Ricky's waiting for a return call too. So I don't want
Oh, Ricky said that.
not to add to the list.
Oh,
Damn.
damn.
Somebody getting work done outside.
I didn't need. Well, that's probably me because I'm driving.
Okay.
I don't need a return call. It was me.
Like a heart.
I was calling attention to something to come out.
Oh.
And I sent a song to do it.
Oh.
When he sees the song, he's gonna laugh because he's gonna realize.
Oh, I do see it. It says Monday.
Oh boy.
Hey, Renee, stop being cheap and put your AC on and put your windows up.
Oh, damn, no.
My windows are up. Listen, listen.
That's her AC that's busted.
Damn.
That is. I'm driving an old car. That's what that is.
It sounds like it.
It is.
It's not a Maybach.
Because you know what? I cannot. There are things in life that are not priorities, and if I can get from point A to point B, it doesn't really matter what it looks like.
All right. There we go. It's there we go. Now it's nice and quiet in here. So when you talk, Renee, go ahead and hit that button. But other than that, anyway,
make me crash. There's all this muting and stuff. I'm driving.
All right, hurry up and get home.
Any updates on the spaceship or the meteorite that's about to hit? Kim?
Well, isn't it a coincidence that the government is shut down? That means NASA is shut down. That means all the pictures would be from 3i Atlas are not currently accessible, which I find to be kind of bullshit.
It's a conspiracy.
Because wait a minute, because China got satellites. Other countries have satellites. Where are their pictures of 3i Atlas? I'm telling you, there's something fishy afoot.
I got new ones, y'all. I got new ones.
Hey, you got Florence.
Never seen that picture before.
I got new ones, y'all.
Wait, you said you saw Claudine and you weren't too crazy about it.
I wasn't. No, Claudine. It was a little traumatic. They was doing a lot in Claudine. Everybody was doing a lot. James Earl Jones was doing the most in Claudine. Like, sir, please. She said no.
No means no. He was a little too touchy.
What'd
you say?
Not in the 70s.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Imagine that.
No didn't start meaning no until the 90s a little bit.
Early 2000s at best.
Early 2000s, right. A no was, what you mean, baby?
Anything happened on your side of the weekend, Kim?
I want to thank Barry. Shout out to Barry because his rhymes are scary from the Prince George's County Audubon Society. Apparently, the PG County Audubon Society will come out and make suggestions about native plants and flowers to help attract pollinators to the habitat or whatever. So, very nice white man came out and looked around and told me good stuff to throw down in the grass and the ground.
Okay.
And then I'm still working on my garden. My garden is still churning along.
Okay.
Very nice.
And we're investigating ham radios and GMRS radios. So please consider alternate forms of communications as our society collapses, that your cell phone may or may not work. I'm guessing on the may not side. So
speak that. We need to hit another person up to teach us about a survival pack like our good friend did back in the day. Kamal, what you got going? What happened to you this weekend?
Oh, maybe I also was doing some gardening.
Of what?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of my backyard. Somebody wanted to charge me because all summer long I didn't cut the backyard. And so it's kind of like, and it's not really a real backyard. It's kind of like hilly, and like the grass and the plant life really grows big.
Wait. So you mean like yard work, not garden?
Same. Well, it almost is the same thing when so let me. I was weeding.
But weeding what? Weeding what out of what?
Basically, all of the tall grass that's like bushes. I was basically pulling. So they wanted to charge me $450
Damn.
Exactly. I was like, I'm not paying you no $4.50. So what I did was I put on some gloves and I started pulling the weeds out manually. And I've almost over several weeks gotten most. Can you get that look off your face, please? I've almost several weeks gotten most of it down. And it's wintertime, so it's not growing as fast anymore. But I've literally done it manually by pulling. And I got a little like I don't know what those weed cutters or scissors, but a hand one, not like it's like it's almost like I should be like, what's the thing? The sickle? I should be with a sickle, kind of like whatever. But yesterday I was doing it, and it's also like a therapy. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'm outside in nature. I got attacked by bees. I got 3 bee bites for the first time in my life.
Stings? Wait, they stung you 3 times?
Oh,
yeah, first time. But like a man, it didn't affect me.
Did you do the?
Nah, those hurt. You don't need to.
You did the shit.
I got stung 1 time. I don't ever need to get stung again.
I've never been stung. I got stung 3 times. But I feel like because of my muscle mass, it couldn't get all the way in, so it probably didn't affect me as much.
Pause. Phrasing.
Because of your muscle.
Or I might be B-man. I might be B-man. So I got stung by radioactive bees or some shit like that.
I'm saying it sounds like you could have rented a goat and accomplished the same amount of labor.
And I heard you get tax cut when you have like goat or something on your phone on your land.
And you got access to goats. That's a great idea. You should bring the goat out to.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
But also, did you?
But what am I doing? Put them in the car? I mean, like just stick them in the backseat of the car and put a.
How'd they get to the farm? However they
were there when we got them. They were already there.
Oh,
someone just take one, tie them up, throw them in the backseat.
Put some.
A goat will chew.
Not tie it up. But
through your whole car. Do not put a goat in your car.
Yeah, do not put a goat in your car, bro.
Oh,
why not? I mean, put some
because it will
plastic
eat your
down.
seeds.
He said plastic. Put some plastic.
It will eat the plastic. Goats.
Now I put a muzzle on it.
There you go. Put a muzzle on that.
Put a muzzle on it, and I'm gonna tie his legs up, its front legs together and his back legs together, like you put on a stick. Yeah. And then when I get to my house, I'll take it out and all that shit.
Yeah, do it like that.
Well, verify that's the
key. He's just throwing up random pictures at this stage.
Just expressions. Yeah, do it like that.
You don't listen to city dudes. Kamal just got stung by a bee in his 50s. Okay, that's to tell you how much Kamal has not been outside in his
not life. Outside at all.
That's true. I was like, oh, this is what this feels like.
All right, 30 minutes in. I guess we could get to some news. I'm pretty sure people came here for that. So let's go ahead and take a quick break, and then we're gonna come back and hit them in the head with as I believe Renee was saying something about 2 years of genocide being anniversary.
Oh, it's October 7th. It is.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, look at that.
The inciting incident.
Look at that.
Supposedly.
Allegedly.
Oh my God.
All right. Oh,
wait before you go.
What up?
My man said I wanted to come out that. Yes. So this is Old Dirty. Okay, my bad.
Wait, he was security? He was
security, yeah.
Oh, word.
Mm-hmm.
Peace, Old Dirty Kung Fu.
I thought he was a little close with the wine, though.
Yeah, right. Calm down. You only get like $8 an hour. Relax. All right, let's have a quick break right here on the remix.
Why are you this way?
This is it, y'all. Get your merch. Remix Morning Show. Let's go. This is it, y'all. Drop it. Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome out to the Remix Morning Show. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Go to patreon.com. Become a member over there. Get footage that's rare. Donate where? At blkliberationmedia.org, as you see at the bottom of the screen. Your donation means a lot to us because we are demonetized as the channel. So, therefore, that helps us to continue to be here for you and yours every day. All right, boom. It's weather time, y'all. It's pretty. Go get your umbrellas because it's a lot of rain going on. First, let's start in the ATL. They got a high of 81 degrees, rain. Let's go to DC. They got a high of 81 degrees, rain. And then let's take it to Chicago. They got a high of only 64 degrees. Rain. Houston. Big up to Houston. They are all the way up to 91. Nice and warm. No rain. Los Angeles. High of 65 degrees. Barbados. Big up to my kids' homeland. Just talking about going down there one day and checking it out. High of 82 degrees. And last but not least, let's take you to Dakar, Senegal. It's nice and hot there. Actually, not too hot, 87 degrees. But I'll tell you what is hot. This brother right here is hot, making news. We're talking about, what did I do with that information here? Okay, we're talking about this kid, Julian Brown. He's made gas out of plastic. A young inventor from Atlanta who gained significant media attention and large social media following his plastoline invention, which claims to convert plastic waste into fuels like gasoline and diesel using microwave process. While the process itself is known, Brown claims the methods was viral, but he also recently vanished from public view, citing fears of being under attack, though his mother later confirmed he was safe. So big up to this brother that's making moves, young brother, inventor. Continue, and let's keep this brother safe. All right, with that said, let's get back to it right here on the Remix Morning Show.
Red we float the tri-state draped in the satin vines. This coolie hijack pack from the sugar shack.
Yeah. All right.
Dang, that was dope. So you're saying he used something that came from space to make oil?
That's what. Thank you.
Kim,
Wow.
You got the connection.
I don't even know why you.
Those for Kim.
Why
You got the connection.
The plastic.
The aliens, the plastic is an unsophisticated offshoot of crude oil productions. The aliens would never. They would never. Why would they do such a thing? But this young man is quite brilliant. I do have concerns for his well-being. His parents should keep a very close eye on him because the innovation of Gen Z and Gen Alpha, look at them. The plastiline and the plastidiezel, it looks legit. I hope it is what the young man believes it to be, but it could be a transformational energy production, for all these gasoline-powered cars and, a good alternative to EV vehicles, which I'm not, sold on because of the destructive nature of the extraction of the lithium and all that stuff needed that harms our African and global South brothers and sisters because they don't mine those things responsibly. So shout out to Julian. I hope we can power our cars with plastic. That's cool.
Me too. But yeah, you ain't lying. I mean, the whole syndicate is like, yo, this kid's costing us money. He's taking money out of our pocket.
He could.
So
I mean, right now, if you could go to, because he's down in Georgia, Alabama area, Air Doctor. If Julian said, all right, everybody pull up, you can fill up for $5. You headed out there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
There it is. All right. Well, we lost one. All right. We just lost one. But he's coming. Hum, hum. All right. Let me go ahead and get out of here. Let y'all do y'all thing. Peace out.
Hey, who we got? We got Evan.
Peace.
We got Renee, I think. Where'd Cabu go? Cabu went away?
I'm right back. I'm back.
Okay, good. Okay, well, let's go ahead and slap some maps. Ding. Peace and greetings, everybody. Welcome to the Remix Morning Show, the Tuesday edition on this, the 7th of October, 2025. I'd like to welcome everybody to the program. Thank you all so much for making the time to join us. Per usual, remixers, you all are the best, the most greatest, undefeated thumb thuggers out here ever to ever grace these YouTube streets. We got your host this morning. Finally, we got some melanin. God damn, Jesus. Shit was too bright for too long.
It's a good thing I'm on.
Oh, you part of our melanin deficit, sir.
You know what?
You bring the average down, Kamal.
Oh, damn. There's a lot of jealousy.
Our mean level of melanin is
If you
lessened.
put all three of us together and Renee side by side, and it's June, darker than all you mothers.
Oh, right.
That's just a lie.
Wishful thinking, I guess.
And
Mhm.
can I just say that thumb thugging might be the best phrase I've heard in a really
I
long
know. I've never
That's
heard that one. I was like, what? Thumb? Okay, I like it.
Hey
Okay.
now, but we got actually real life thugs. I feel like there are people in the remix chat that will put them paws on you IRL. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll say it, they will type it out, and they will show up and do the thing. But anyway, welcome everybody. We got Kamal K. Franklin joining us. We have Renee Johnston Tuesdays with Renee. We got Evan. I don't know Evan's last name, but it's Evan, and that's fine. Evan the dude.
Evan the dude. That's dope.
Kind of like
Evan
Devin
the
the dude. Evan the dude. Yes.
Evan the
All right.
dude.
Evan the
We're
dude.
doing it.
Yes.
We're doing it. I wanted to start with this Van Jones thing, but I'll admit I don't have an ex, so I feel like I can't.
I can bring it up.
Yeah.
Want me to bring that up?
Yeah, man, because we need to clown his ass because
Where's he get? Go get he get. Tell her hurry up. She gonna miss it.
For her friend.
my man has done a heel turn for real. Like,
So Van
Again?
Jones was on Bill Maher.
God.
And
First
I
strike.
guess started talking about who's responsible. Well, who in his at least what he's claiming he was trying to do was point out attacks on the West. And so let's play it real quick.
But isn't part of that because we had to fold everything into critical race theory, and somehow the Middle East became part of,
I see it differently. And I love this conversation because I think people, those of us who went to college, give a lot more credit to college courses for how the world works than I do. This is not about critical race theory on college campuses. This is about Iran. Iran and Qatar have come up with a disinformation campaign that they are running through TikTok and Instagram that is massive. If you are a young person, you open up your phone and all you see is dead Gaza baby, dead Gaza baby, dead Gaza baby,
Right.
Diddy, dead Gaza baby, dead Gaza baby. That's basically
Dead Gaza baby, so
that's
hilarious.
not DEI. That is a geopolitical adversary that is deliberately trying to divide the West against itself.
that view is not.
Divide the West.
What a terrible
so
person.
gross, man.
Dead Gaza
Yeah.
baby, dead Gaza baby, Diddy, dead Gaza baby. I'm sorry. Dead children are a punchline to you. That's where you get a laugh from? From Bill Maher's so-called liberal progressive audience? They all find dead Gaza babies hilarious. Wow.
So what's interesting too for me is like, so they start off on the path of Bill Maher distracting in his own way, or his own propaganda, trying to blame, and I didn't see the pre-segment of it, but blaming things on DEI. And then Van steps in and takes his own turn of like, no, not DEI. It's the little genocide, or the ways in which the genocide is being portrayed is because of Iran and Qatar. Like it's not Israel, and it's not the United States. In fact, he's gotten so dragged by this, he had to issue a couple of apologies.
Really?
I'll pull up his apologies because I think they're funny. And he turned off the remarks on his own page because people were calling him out. So I'll pull that out.
Sounds about right. I mean, it's disgusting, and I think that he should be dragged appropriately for that. And it's like, I don't know what apology. I mean, there's no apology for something like that, right? Like we're 2 years in. It is the anniversary today. 2 years into an ongoing genocide, and he thinks it's appropriate to make a joke around. I'm saying personally for myself, right? Shit that I like stay awake, like that keeps me up at night, that I'll never get out of my head. You know what I'm saying? Like things that I've seen from the genocide, and he's making a joke of it. Is, I don't know, man. It's just scum of the
But
earth type shit.
also, you know, to frame these images that we've all been watching for the past 2 years, I guess, as some sort of Iranian propaganda, as though it's not what is actually the reality on the ground, what people in Gaza have been experiencing. This is what Iran's version of Hezbollah. Like, what's the inference here, Van Jones? What are you trying to say, that what's happening in Gaza isn't happening?
I think that is partly what he's trying to say, and that we are only seeing it because of the ongoing propaganda of Iran and Qatar. Not again, yeah, not because it's actually happening. And without social media, in the ways in which people from Palestine and all over the world have lifted up those pictures, we would get hardly any coverage in the mainstream media. We would get any coverage from the New York Times, and the coverage we would get would be so skewed, as if, like, you know, I think later on as we talk about this, I'm going to bring up the New York Times cover about this. Like, we would get such skewed images of, again, these so-called Israeli hostages are profiled as real human beings, and the Palestinians, there's no personal profile. You don't get to know their backstories or their life stories. They're just a clump of mass to be talked about in raw numbers, but nothing that gives people any sympathy. And so when we talk about social, it is one of the things that social media has been good for. And don't forget, like, social media, the TikTok itself was just sold or taken over, if I'm not mistaken, by a right-wing Zionist figure. Can you imagine the new suppression of those videos and pictures of the ongoing genocide, which is going to take place even more than before on TikTok once he takes full control? So, you know, the only way in which this story has gotten out from people is because they posted the images of the complete destruction of Gaza. And again, people like to point out, or people want to make these assumptions that this started October 7th, 2 years ago. This has been an ongoing, basically 100-year war against Palestinians for their land, killing their people, imprisoning their people, creating basically a death camp in Gaza where people were not allowed to enter or exit, where the water was controlled, food supply was controlled, all of which to hem people up in basically what some folks called the largest open air prison in the world. And it was only through resistance that folks could fight back to bring attention, because again, the Western media, which controls most of the propaganda we see, has decided to never or never cover the story of the Palestinians in a way that shows the oppressed fighting the oppressor, but only cover it as if those who moved from Europe are being targeted by so-called terrorists when they've moved on to somebody else's land and basically stripped them of their rights, their land, their dignity, and their life.
I just want to real quick, because I know I said inciting. I was mostly trying to point out the whole nonsensical, you know, do you condemn October 7th? Because this is what the narrative has been. I just want people to be clear, because I can only partially see the chat, and I just want to make sure that people understand that I'm well aware that none of this shit is 2 years old. So that's all.
No. Yeah.
So what has, obviously, the decimation of Gaza has happened in the past 2 years. People have just been absolutely slaughtered. What has happened to Israel over these past 2 years? Has the sentiment around the world, particularly with younger folks, has it turned so against the Zionist state that they may not wield the same, I can't say the same amount of influence, because we know money talks and bullshit runs a marathon, but in terms of the way more people around the globe view this situation through the Palestinian lens and less so maybe from the Israeli lens, has Israel damaged itself in these past 2 years in ways that may be irreparable?
I mean, I think definitely, but I don't think that I think that's part of it, right? Like, I don't think that they actually care. I think it's more, okay, like, let's get it done now, right? So it's very clear that from their perspective, it's like, okay, like, we're losing the narrative, right? It's always been a narrative war for them, right? It's never been about the facts on the ground. It's always been about how they can kind of frame it. and now they realize they've lost it. So okay, let's just finish it. Let's just do our final solution and finish the job, which is explicitly what they've been saying, and is actually what they're doing. And then I think it's, to your point, Kim, right? Like, they absolutely are losing the narrative, and I think they see that, across the board around the world. But like, this is their response to that, right? Like, that phrase about like a cornered animal is like the most, dangerous, right? Like, I'm sure that they feel cornered, right, in that sense, right, by having lost this narrative war. So this is how they're reacting, right? They're gonna try to finish the job, which is horrific.
Yeah, I think with the superior firepower, for them, I agree. This became a rationale for them to, again, somewhat destroy the axis of resistance, or to humble, or to push back the axis of resistance. And in that respect, again, I think they have done what they've wanted to do. They could only have done it, of course, with U.S. weapons and U.S. support, and the U.S. behind them, and in some ways the U.S. leading them. And so we should always reject the narrative that Israel is some rogue state that's only doing this, and it's basically the tail wagging the dog, and it's Israel that's controlling U.S. foreign policy. That's not true at all. The United States and Israel are lockstep in this, which is why I agree. I think I think for them, they're losing the propaganda war and world majority opinion, but they're seeing for them it's the long game, because they're like, with these sellout governments right next door to us. Remember, Jordan has done nil to nothing. Egypt has done nil to nothing. Saudi Arabia has done nil to nothing. And all the other chiefdoms or kingdoms in nearby have done nil to nothing. They didn't do any oil embargoes. They didn't open up borders to let food into Palestinians. They didn't move their military to the border, threatening Israel. None of this has taken place. So they're just biding their time with the idea that that Arabs and Muslims, this leadership of Arabs and Muslims, this government leadership, is going to bide its time also, and let this time pass, and then come back later on in 5 years or 10 years and recognize Israel, right? So I think for them, they're going to take this hit and hope that through time, the governments, if never the people, but the governments that are in control, will wash this away themselves, will wash this blood away themselves, and begin to recognize Israel, or begin to continue, I should say, to do business with Israel. So I think that's part of what their plan is. It's like, with the power of the United States, in the capital of the United States, and the deals being struck for oil and so forth, that there will continue to be those deals, and the Palestinians will just be a blip on their history, because they have not done anything during this 2 years of genocide of Palestinian people, which all of them, in terms of their official policy, have pledged to either protect or stand up for or demand a so-called two-state solution. That they've done nothing during this time period to really attack this genocide, or stop this genocide. You've had I know it's not her by herself, but I just, like, the young girl, Greta Thunberg or whatever like that. And I'm sure there's other, like, obviously the Palestinians themselves are Palestinian activists and organizers. But the fact that these governments, which are right next door, that could have been a turning point in isolating Israel, as opposed to only world population isolating them, but these governments that continue to give Israel access to resources, trade with Israel. Turkey is another one that trade with Israel, access to resources, never threatened it. In fact, in some ways, sided with it when it started attacking Iran. Like, all of these things are things that I don't think, unless these governments are overthrown, or unless there's a revolutionary radical process that changes these governments, I think that is really, in my estimation, with the rebuilding of the axis of resistance, the only thing that can stop Israel from doing what it's currently doing.
Arab Spring 2.0, let's go.
Mm-hmm. So I never read it, but I'll read quickly, Jones, and we can move on to more coverage.
We should go to the flotilla after this. So you mentioned Greta.
Okay. It says, Van Jones said, I made a comment on Real Time with Bill Maher about the war in Gaza that was insensitive and hurtful. I apologize. The suffering of people of Gaza, especially the children, is not a punchline. I'm deeply sorry it came across that way. What's happening in Gaza, the children in Gaza, is heartbreaking. Then he says, as a father, I can't begin to imagine the pain their parents are enduring, unable to protect their kids from unimaginable harm. And he goes on, and notice he turned off all the comments because his first apology started to garner comments that he didn't want people to see. It says, yeah, I messed up on this one. And I'm sorry, I was trying to raise awareness about foreign adversaries creating chaos online, which is undermining democracy everywhere. So Iran and Qatar are undermining democracy everywhere with their so-called propaganda. This is the line of thinking that he's pushing. But what I said was easily misunderstood. No, it was understood that you were being a show for Israel. It was understood. And the way I said it was flat out insensitive. Babies are dying every day in Gaza. Nobody should dispute that fact or make light of it in any way. So yeah.
Yo, fuck Van Jones, man. Like I can't say it enough.
But also, none of this is surprising, right? I mean,
No.
You know, this is pretty much par for the course.
It's not surprising, Renee, but I do feel like there is a way in which this man keeps digging through the dirt to find a new low to like pop up in, and like that I think is the shocking part. But you're right; it's not surprising. He's been on this bullshit for 2 years, at minimum, at least on this issue. So you're right. You're right.
And
it's
to me, things like I'm more surprised that he decided to put out an apology than I am that he made that sick ass joke. But you know, also as public sentiment changes slightly, you know, and at the least as more people do things that make it clear that there are very few like regular people who are on board with this madness. You know, people see that this is going to cost, like, I think people can see that if they are on the wrong side of history, it's going to cost them eventually. And so even this apology, it's not really based or rooted in any real acknowledgement of what's happening, right? Like him saying babies are dying in Gaza, like, you know, this whole just focusing like they're just dying, like people are just falling down dead. They're not just dying in Gaza. They are being actively slaughtered by Israel, actively, right? And so, like, even this passive voice of like, oh, the babies are dying. The babies are not just dying. There's an active effort to remove the babies from the world. So even his apology is shit.
Yeah.
Like, I can't stand any of these people. They all work my nerves.
Yeah. I do. I mean,
people to look at Van Jones, I mean, the same way like we look at, I guess, like a Armstrong Williams, who's a good comparable person, Kamau, like these long-term Black conservatives that regular Black people, not us. I'm talking about very regular Black people might look at like an Armstrong Williams and roll their eyes. Oh, that brother, he's a Republican. You know, he's about to talk. Like I need regular ass Black people to discredit Van Jones. Like Van Jones does not speak for us. He does not represent us. He does not represent our politics. And I know a lot of highly visible Black folks that are part of the punditocracy. They don't represent us either. but I feel like Van is like CNN's go-to, or maybe Bill Maher's go-to. Well, what do the Blacks think? Van, come on here. Tell us what the Blacks are they like? Fuck that nigga. Like, no.
Van has positioned himself well. Like, and again, Van has been on a money hunt for the last 25 years, where he went from, and I'm sure part of the reason he offered his fake apology wasn't just the social media feedback. But he still has many friends who are left of center, or people who fuck with him who are left of center, I not being one of them, that probably text him or called him or was like, what are you doing? Or what's up with you? That maybe made him be like, okay, maybe this looked really bad. Like in my rehearsals for doing this joke, or the joke writer that I hired.
You know he did. You know he did.
Oh, yeah.
He ran that by in his head like a punchline.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. That was a setup. That was a big setup for him, which he, again, and this kind of thing is not off the top of his head. I'm sure he practiced it. He rehearsed it. Someone wrote it for him. He showed it to people, and all the insiders are part of his camp was like, oh, that's so great. You really get him with that one, Van. This is going to really impress, right? He has handlers like anybody else.
Right.
So I'm sure there was a mixture of not only the outcry from social media who went bombing on him. If you look at his page on Twitter right now, the comments, even comments that have nothing to do with this. There are literally hundreds to thousands of them that are continually calling him a sellout, an asshole, a genocide denier, over and over and over and over again. And so I'm sure that's partly what reached out to him. But I was saying before, he's an interesting character because he comes out of the left tradition. Again, at one point, Van Jones called himself a revolutionary black nationalist. He called himself a communist, started communist formations in the Bay Area, and has moved to where he's filled in, like you said, this progressive space. Not quite the Al Sharpton of our times, but he has moved into a space that is, you know, I recite, like, you know, from Jesse Jackson to Al Sharpton to Van Jones, some of the women in the BLM. There's this move that Van Jones in particular, though, becomes a really key point in terms of his ability to unlock millions and millions of dollars to so-called social justice left movements at the time that has followed him to his progressive / moderate stance. He has unlocked millions of dollars with this kind of bullshit in private and now in public. And as we've seen, he's moved from so-called being left to progressive to moderate to, again, following the lead of his handlers in terms of what he should be saying and how he should be presenting himself in order to be a star attraction on CNN or Bill Maher, or to have big books that are basically written by other people, and his name is on them in terms of the green this. He's now pushing AI on the black community. He went from the Green New Deal, how green energy was the thing that was going to make life easy, like was going to bring up black people economically speaking. Now he's on these platforms talking about how AI is the new thing, which is going to bring black people equality with white people, and if we only embrace AI. This is somebody who's being handled, who's getting, again, check after check after check to put these views out. So it's very interesting the role he's filled. I don't think he necessarily has a large black following, but like you said, he is the person that they call out to represent black liberal views for mainstream audiences.
And let's not overlook, like, when you watch the clip, they laughed. The audience thought that shit was funny, right?
Hard.
Bill Maher thought that was funny. Like, yes. he said exactly what he said because he knew what the response was going to be. Exactly. He wasn't going to get booed in that audience. Bill Maher turned it. I want to know who hit him over the head. Like, what? Like, he is another one. Like, all these people, you know, like, I want to know how much money did their soul cost? That's what I want to know. Like, I just can't, you know, like, I wonder all the time, like, how much money did it take for you to turn into an outright asshole who doesn't care about humanity or other people? Like, what? I want to know. I want to know the cost, because I need to know. I need to check my own morality bucket and figure out, like, can somebody pay for my morality? Because y'all, I need to know how much it was worth to become this person.
I want to say it was $100 million, but I feel like he was doing this shit, like, he was working up to this before that, right? So it was like, that was just like, the $100 million was kind of like the reward. Hey, you're doing a good job, like, keep it up, you know? Mm-hmm. And for me, because I know you've said this before, Kamal, right? Like, assuming that not that you're telling the truth, but like assuming that Van, you know what I'm saying, meant everything that he said, or like actually ascribe to those politics truly, that makes this that much worse, right? That means that you know better. That means that you've read things, right, that should lead you to like a more liberatory, just a correct conclusion, right? And you're actually ignoring that for the bag, right? So it's not even, it's like, for me, it's like worse than, like, you know, some of these like white conservatives, I'm like, okay, you were raised in that, that's what you believe, right? Like, even if it's wrong and whatever, I don't expect much more from you, right? But Van Jones, right, with these politics, right? No, you actually know. And you know, so you know exactly what you're doing, and you know exactly what role you're playing, which is exactly why that apology is bullshit. All those apologies are bullshit.
Van Jones, there's statements that Van Jones has made. Van Jones was pro-Palestinian. So you're completely correct. Van Jones called out Israel as being part of the Western imperialist front. He knows exactly what he's doing. and he's and people have said in his history that the people who were opposed to him early on was like, this dude. There are folks who are like, this dude is going to sell us out. There were people, and Van Jones would do his crying routine and keep his friends around him to be like, what I'm doing for the movement. People don't understand how hard I work and how diligent I am and how I'm trying to move these politics. But there are folks who are saying this dude is continually on the hunt for fame, recognition, and money. And when he hooked up early with the woman from the Huffington Post, that was his first real bag, other than nonprofit foundation money. That was his first real bag that helped put him on. And it was almost a blessing when he got called out for being an ex-communist by the right-wing Fox commentator at the time, who did an expose because he was hired in a relatively speaking low-level position with the Obama administration as the Green Czar. But then Glenn Beck went on a series of shows on Fox calling him out as a communist and bringing up his past, which, again, he had to leave his position with Obama and do a complete remake. I think it was with American Enterprise or whatever, the
AEI?
I'm trying to remember. It's the liberal establishment that basically trains the liberal side of like as opposed to the Heritage Foundation. It is the liberal side of the Heritage Foundation.
Oh, what's this shit called?
Yeah.
Oh man, now I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah, I'm not getting the name right. Yeah, it's a think tank group. They took Van under their wing post his being let go by Obama to help remake him into a commentator. And then he started coming back, making early appearances on Good Morning America, other platforms where he started basically practicing, because his first couple of times out, he's always been a good speaker, but his first couple of times out on network TV were not great, right? You could see him struggling, nervous, and everything like that. So they helped him build his chops so that he could be the kind of commentator.
Think Progress. Is it Think Progress?
I don't know if it's Think Progress. I think it had another name to it, and it was another Obama appointee.
Somebody put in the chat ADL.
There's another Obama appointee who ran it. But it was from there that Center for American Progress.
Center for American Progress.
Okay. Yeah.
It was Progress in there.
So this brings, and I think I asked the same question last week, and so I'm just gonna keep asking until I feel like somebody can figure it out for me. Like, so was this the plan? Right? Did they install Van Jones initially to cosplay as a communist / nationalist / whatever, so that he could embed himself in some way amongst groups of people who could then elevate him as a voice, so that when they were ready to switch him, he had already gained so much popularity that it couldn't be stopped?
I don't think
this is my question.
I don't think he's the Manchurian candidate. I don't think he was handpicked.
That's Westmore.
To be that that might be Westmore. Definitely. I think Van Jones honestly at some point believed in those politics, and he's a smart dude. He created organization. He knew how to get foundation money. He created the Ella Baker Center for Human Rights in Oakland. He created Cop Watch, which was an early mechanism for people to report issues of police brutality. He's created these things. He's hired people. But again, I think people recognized that Van Jones was on a mission in terms of his own ways of self-promotion, which were not the normal characteristic of somebody who's supposedly sticking to left politics. He began to move. And at some point, then I think he was picked. I do think at some point he was picked out. I think Ariana Huffington probably has a lot to do. And there may be some others behind the scenes which we don't know about. But I do think at some point when he reached a certain level of prominence in Oakland, shifting from overt radical to more progressive, that he was a somebody who was sort of picked out as like, we can work with you, young man. You got to leave that other stuff behind. You can do more if you work with us to do all the things that you say you believe in to get that stuff done. You can get more. So the great dream of like, oh, if I only join the Democrats, or if I only join these big institutions, I'll have these resources and I'll do ABC. That's what probably brought him on or sold him out. And of course, as he got further down the line, I think Evan's completely correct. The $100 million was a reward for good work done. Right? That wasn't the beginning.
Was he able? Was that 100 million pocket for him? He didn't have to. I thought he had to give some of that
No
away.
strings
No,
attached.
that was
No
pocket
strings.
for him. That's
They
wild.
gave a
I
list
forgot.
of
I
suggestions.
did forget how much money that was. That is
Yeah.
a lot of money.
What's
Kamal,
also
would you sell out? Would you sell out Kamal for $100 million?
In a second, in 2 heartbeats for $100 million. But
I'm
see,
not-
Kamal, but see,
It's too
here's
late.
the-
It was too late.
but Van Jones, like, where is the redistribution? And I maybe he's doing it covertly and we just have no idea. But I'm even thinking of, let's say, Black conservative celebrities of the civil rights era. I'm thinking of Sammy Davis Jr. I'm thinking of people, they still ran money back. You understand? Like, you know, even while standing next to Nixon, you know what I'm saying? James Brown had to break Black Panthers off. You know what I mean? So there's no press on Van Jones. Like, where's this 100 million at, buddy?
But that's the thing, Kim. I feel like you're alluding to it, right? Like, we are not organized in the way that our communities were back then, right? In that way, there is no Black Panther Party to put pressure on Van Jones at this point, like today, you know. And I think it's interesting what Renee's saying, because like the question is interesting, right? It's like, how early was the fix in? But like to Kamal's point, right? I think all that's necessary is like individualism, careerism, you know what I'm saying? Like, and just like all the kind of trappings that this country, like, you know, encourages you to chase. Like, that's all it took, for real. To, and I think, you know, I saw Leah in the chat talking about, like, she knew him from way back, and like he always kind of seemed disconnected from Black people, whatever. Like, that's probably possible, right? Like, it makes it easier. I think not being an organization also makes that easier. Like, there's no one holding him accountable. There's no organizational home he's going back to. He's just doing it for himself, for his own personal, you know, to share his own personal kind of perspective. But I do think, like, to your point, Kim, right? Like, the big difference that materially that always seems to be the case is that, like, we do not have organizations to hold any of these people accountable. And at the end of the day, they can go take their money and live a very white life someplace far away from Black people and poor people, and really never have to engage with any of this stuff outside of like X, you know, or Twitter or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, or getting ratioed on their comments, and they have to respond.
Yeah, I'll say really quickly before we go to a break. And you know how I don't like to do this kind of stuff. I feel like this is not the things that I enjoy doing. But if you look at Van's dating history in terms of his connection to Black,
well,
Van exclusively at some point, exclusively, just chased white women. Let me just be blunt about it, whatever. Almost exclusively.
That's a red flag.
And I say, you know, that, you know, people can make their choices and all the rest of it, but it's part of a character trait of Van Jones in terms of what he's aspiring to, and where, like, in terms of like somebody who, in some way, again, and some of this might be some psychological thing around. He did, to my understanding, Van grew up poor, grew up in the South or whatever like that. But at some point, I think exactly what Evan said is like, he started to have this craving to be somehow accepted in larger society or accepted by a segment of elite society, and has done everything. You know, he named his son Cabral. So he is somebody who has attempted to basically rework himself to be this accepted figure, like this spokesperson figure, and he's worked it, and then culturally, politically, that's all he really cares about, right? And that's what it gets. That's the feeling I get. I don't even think he cares about the politics anymore, because it's almost like he'll say anything. It's like if you throw some money at him, it feels like he'll just do anything. Conservative money, liberal money, it doesn't matter. Like, you know, he got money from the Patriots owner, who was a known conservative and Trump backer, right? To do one of these,
among other things. Robert Kraft.
Robert Kraft, to do one of these things with around the prison stuff, around like decreasing the prison population.
Oh, that's
so
right.
He takes money everywhere he can get it, gives himself either a paycheck or consulting fees, sets up these organizations, and then leads these organizations to go do more grifting, more stuff, right? Doesn't matter if these organizations accomplish any of their tasks. All you got to do is get one good press conference. Again, he gets into these rooms, he makes fun, or he makes friends with the rich and famous, and he's in. And that's been the trajectory. There's no politics that guide him whatsoever. The politics of money, wealth, and fame and politics is his hustle to get to that stuff. That's what it feels like to me at this stage.
Yeah. And I will, Elon in the chat, I will say, my comrade Elon, she said Cabral was also married to a white woman, so this theory of yours don't hold up, Camus. But it's not a.
I meant it as revolutionary.
How we say?
I meant it as he named his son after revolutionary, not a black nationalist.
No, I think it's the white woman piece. But the fact is, like, it's a tell, right? Can you be a revolutionary and be married to a white woman? Sure. Can you be like, but also, is it telling that you've been chasing white women? And I don't know, man. I feel like when you find a conservative black person in the wild.
Since the 90s.
What do you say?
He's been chasing them since the 90s, which is when I met him.
It's a long time. And I just feel like whenever you find a right of center black person, you scratch a little bit, especially the black dude, you scratch a little bit, and there's a white woman. It's just like, it's like we're all waiting, we're all expecting it. I'm surprised when I see a black woman. I'm like, oh, okay, this is like a different thing. It's a different thing going on.
Or he married her when he was poor. So, you know, yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Herman Cain and Ben Carson have black wives. And I'm like, y'all do? But they do. Well, they did. Herman Cain gone. But yeah.
He died for Trump.
Died from Trump. Sure did.
He did. He died for Trump. Well, speaking of somebody who will never die for Trump.
You already know it. You know it.
How much you got to get paid to sell out? Yeah, Doc. 10 million, 10 million, 20 million.
What is selling out again?
What is selling out?
What we just went over for the past 30, 45 minutes.
He's like, let me see. Saying different things about black people, how we have to do our bootstrap stuff, caping for the West society, saying the West is the best.
I'm not in love with money like that, honestly.
Oh.
Yeah,
you wouldn't sell out. Is that what you're saying?
Nah.
You're incapable of selling out?
I walk around with my head high, and my resources take care of me. I'm wealthy in that way.
So you're saying Alan sends that email inviting you to be his house DJ. You going?
$2 million.
Who?
To Jimmy Fallon?
If he asked me to DJ his event?
No, Trump asked you to DJ his event and give you $1 million to DJ the inauguration.
I'm packing my bags and DJing that motherfucker. What you mean? That's a gig.
Y'all, am I the only?
Do you realize how many people I DJ for and I don't know anything about their political
but when you
background?
You do know.
Yeah.
My assumption is you feel diametrically opposed.
I will get that check and I will put a percentage back into Black Liberation Media. So yeah, I will do it.
You're saying if they hit you
Evan, do you not hear? Are your ears messed up? God damn. I mean,
you can ask the question slow. You can ask the question fast. You can use new words. You can use the same words. I've already told you.
And I will give a percentage back to my people. Yes.
How much of a percentage? 40%? 60%?
Right, let's take a break.
Right, what? Y'all counting this man's money. Y'all all in his pockets, calculating his give back and all kinds of shit.
I know. I want to know.
I'm already over here sad, wondering what's going to happen at 12 o'clock today when LeBron does his second decision. What is this decision about retiring? Most likely. He's seen the team he was playing with. Was like, you know what? It's about time to retire.
Isn't that the thing didn't that get him in trouble before when he did that bullshit?
Yeah. No, it was from real shit. He took control of his destiny and was like, all y'all motherfucking business owners that usually just trade us like we ain't shit. I'm doing my own trading. I'm going to this team. How about that? So fuck y'all. So big up. Yeah, and then I'm a little happy. Pooh Shiesty's back. So we'll hear some more killer rap.
Who in the fuck is Pooh Shiesty?
He is a rapper that went to jail for 5 years. He's out now. All right, so let's go ahead and still sad about
you've been looking forward to his release so you can get that new Pooh Shiesty. Is that what you're trying to hear?
That's where all those masks came from. A lot of people was wearing. They called them the Pooh Shiesty mask. All them
the Shiesty.
Young,
is that what that is? That
yeah, That's the rapper that everybody was rocking the mask calling them Pooh Shiesties.
When you say everybody, I'm thinking of
The
children.
young black
youth.
people.
The youth.
The youth them. All right. So I guess it's time to take a break.
You say
But-
everybody like you part of them. You know what I'm saying? You know, everybody was wearing a Pooh Shiesty mask.
I
Everybody
mean,
was.
all the young brothers that's out here right now that's walking around with
You're not gonna
tight jeans and sagging. But
I support it. Wear your mask, kids. It disrupts the facial recognition. Wear the mask fucking everywhere. Good job.
okay, good job. And I'll tell you what else is a good job. This Thursday, we're talking about Lionel Richie. That's right. Classical breakdown with Lionel.
Looking like
All right,
my
man.
uncle.
Zoom. I
Kamal Richie. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Good music though. Good until at some point, you know, too many slow songs and did him in. But he had a period where he was the man.
I mean, we talking about the Commodores too here.
Yeah. No, I agree. No, Lionel
Yeah.
was a man. Up until Say You, Say Me. That was a breaking point.
Save me.
I was like, that is the worst fucking song in history. That's when it felt like he was just going for the dollars.
Listen.
What about All Night Long? That was
before. That was before. But that was on the break.
Was Lionel also married to a white woman?
Well, but he married to a black woman before that.
Yeah.
So
he got around like Tupac.
Dumped her for the white woman, though. Remember that?
Yes. Well,
And then she
remember the
almost
black
went back.
woman fucked him up. Remember that was big news in the black community in the gossip before there was gossip, right? Like everybody knew
Brenda
Lionel
went
got his
and
ass
punched him
whooped.
in the fucking face. That was the word. Brenda went and punched him in the face.
Whip that ass.
Whip that ass. Word.
Oh,
he
he
had
got-
the whole. It was embarrassing for him. He got beat up by
Yes,
his.
it was.
I thought he was the first black man to get burnt by some pot liquor.
No, that
But
was
anyway.
Al Green. See,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
that was the
you
grits.
get your dirt bags mixed up. You know what I mean?
That was grits. Big up to pot liquor.
Although
Anyway.
Lionel's face does look like it got stretched by some pot liquor or something like that.
No, now it is crazy. Your boy looked like he looked like a Manchurian candidate. Something. He don't look right. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick break right here on no other than the Remix Morning Show. I got my music ready. Here we go.
Nope.
You know I do, boy. It's a remix on the remix.
She go like tonight, so now go back around that girl, Shelly on bleach at night time and on the bed to sleep on. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Me and them on a beat, I ever out in a gas, I'm like stepping up, fucking on my step up. Me and the love broke, blown up trombone. If you have on a night, well I instant light. Lord, it I seen them call like good spin. Lord, it I seen them call like good spin. Lord, it I seen them call like good spin.
All right. Let me take you back to a time and place. Let me take you back to the year of 1991 with the Ghetto Boys off that album We Can't Be Stopped. The name of that song is Mind Playing Tricks on Me. Mixed with a little bit of 2008, my boy Red Rat off his album. And the name of that song is Shelly On. It's Red Rat is the name of the album. The name of the song is Shelly Ann. Big up to all my Caribbean women with a hyphen in their name. You know what I'm saying? Big up to Kelly Marie's, the Shelly Ann's, we can keep it going. Keep it going in the chat room. I know y'all know some people. All right, so hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, go to patreon.com, become a member over there, get footage that's rare, donate where at blkliberationmedia.org. And yes, go there and get you some merch while you are over there, because we got some of the best merch in the game. So with that said, let's get back to it. You know how we do it right here on No Other Than a Remix Morning Show.
My mind is playing tricks on me.
Don't mix.
Thank you. I'll be trying over here.
How many Ghetto Brothers alive still?
It's two. Willie
Oh,
D.
no,
and
sorry.
no,
Bushwick is
Bushwick
dead,
Bill
right?
dead. Yeah.
Bushwick Bill, he passed. That's right.
Yep. It's Willie D. doing
He had a short life.
podcasts and
Scarface.
Wait a minute,
Scarface.
you didn't hear that?
Hmm?
He had a short life.
Oh! Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, okay, my bad. Oh, well, okay.
No ableist jokes in here. We'll cut that out.
I'm no, but dude,
I was with you. I was with you.
I know they
Camille.
was. They don't understand ableism.
I
Evan.
come from an era where you could
I know
still.
they're Gen X. They think ableism's still hilarious. It's gonna be funny forever.
I
Fine.
come from that same era as you, Kamal.
I know. At least, like, it wasn't.
It wasn't. No one trying
I
to-
just want to say, as also a Gen X person, that shit
Uh-oh.
wasn't funny. We shouldn't do that. I'm just saying, don't blame it on the whole generation.
Don't blame me. I said.
I'm definitely gonna blame it on the whole generation, Renee. Whole generation. And I understand. I too am Gen X. You know what I'm saying? I used to let the R word fly. You know what I'm saying? It takes restraint for me not to call people R words. You know what I'm saying? But when we grow, we know better. Hopefully.
But the fact that you learned means that it's possible. So it is not, I don't want to bear responsibility for people who haven't learned.
Come out stupidity. I understand.
I like it, Kamal.
Now I feel like
everybody could get joked, Kamal. Don't.
that was always my personal. Yeah,
don't hold it back. Everybody can get a joke.
Generation X was like everything and anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
They don't want to be discluded out of getting jokes. They be like, damn, why don't you crack on me too? Right?
They don't be discluded?
No.
Discluded ain't a word. It is now.
Talk about the deep emotional trauma that y'all have as Gen X because of these jokes. Like, I'm going to do both of those.
Speak to it, Evan. Speak to it.
That part.
How would he know? What are you talking about? You too young to understand.
He's an observer. He's been on the planet.
I know people from your generation.
Why would we?
Like, he's currently sitting on the screen with four Gen Xers.
Why would we be traumatized though?
I guess you wouldn't. Maybe you weren't on the receiving end of ableist and bullying. You know what I mean? But those who may have been on the receiving end of that likely never forgot it.
Now that you put it like that, Kim, I can understand.
I know.
I wasn't on the receiving.
I wasn't.
Because y'all think light skin is a disability. Oh, you be cracking on me for being light skin. No, nigga, light skin's not a disability, motherfucker.
Oh no, you're right. Like, they were far more, even like it was far more hard hitting to do dark skin jokes in terms of something that was supposed to be hurtful than light skin jokes. And that was
Big up to John Gardner's mom, who came in third grade. No, what was it, fifth grade, and got on a whole classroom for calling her son dark. And said, "You're all from Africa. You're all black." And I was like, "Damn, she right." And I changed.
Who was a boomer?
Damn
boomer.
I stopped making dark skin jokes
After
since.
that?
Yeah, after that. So I grew fifth grade.
So I remember, like, maybe fifth grade too. Like, they stood us all up of their various shades and talked about the different shades of blackness. And they were like, "This person is brown. This person is like chocolate colored." And they pointed at me, "This person is beige, and this person." I got beige. I specifically remember that. I specifically remember being called beige.
Kamal was always at the end of the line.
Kamal came home, told his mother and his sister, and then they lauged. and then they laughed.
And my mother started calling me beige.
She's like, "Yo, get your beige ass out of here."
She did.
Your teacher lining y'all up and calling you beige is the most hilarious thing I've heard.
She didn't line us up. Let's not take. We stood up at our seats, and then they did. And then she did basically go around the classroom.
And when he laughs, he turns red.
like Carl, stand up. This one stand up. That one stand up. And then she did. She did the whole spectrum. And I was beige. Yes.
Like, when being inclusive goes wrong.
Yeah.
It was an earnest attempt.
Damn. And Renee got the opposite jokes.
My mom used to call me piss colored.
Listen, my whole life, My whole y'all don't even like.
That's why she quiet over there.
It is, and Evan's not wrong. That shit is traumatizing. So like, when you're light skinned and you don't have to live with people mocking you, it's real easy to be like, but that shit is traumatizing. And I went my whole life with it because I am very dark skinned. So,
well, I appreciate it. I just grew today.
Thank you. No one believes that. It's so terrible when you say. I mean, 4 years of politics. I don't know if Ear Doctor has changed at all in terms of his politics.
I think Ear Doctor at times will say stuff just to be controversial.
Well, I think that's
just to provoke a conversation. So I don't always take, like, I don't, a lot of times people, like, especially in the chat, be like, oh my God, what's wrong with him? And I don't think they realize that he's doing it intentionally to provoke people. But, sometimes. Yeah.
I will say, though, he has very solid principles on friendships and relationships that are so much better than most of the radicals that I know. So I will give him, as an individual person who holds some principles, it's almost like he's dead. Like I'm memorializing.
Right.
Yeah, I will give him. When Ear Doctor was with us before he passed away,
Ear Doctor is the type of person to come back for his own eulogy. Like he's
just to check it. Yeah, and I'm sure he's gonna die. He's gonna die like he fell down a hill trying to get the frisbee on his cheap date, and he stumbled and fell and hit his head on a rock.
Machiavelli has showed me the way. I'm coming to my own funeral. Trust and believe.
He accidentally took the COVID virus thing, and then he was right, and it killed him. And then he,
exactly. I was like,
some crazy shit like that.
Y'all finally got me to take.
And I will do jokes at his funeral if I'm allowed to speak.
Please,
I will.
Please do.
Oh, yeah.
But he's okay with that, so I feel like it's different when you have permission to do it.
But wouldn't it be boring if all of us agreed? I mean, and then you got to have another perspective so that what y'all say actually stands. Prove y'all point. That's how I look at it. If y'all so hard on y'all square, prove y'all point.
Okay, Charlie Kirk, prove you wrong. Audits.
So somebody please Photoshop Ear Doctor's face on Charlie Kirk with like that little sign, like just sitting like "prove me wrong" type shit. Like, please make that.
Do we do it with the Can we do it like when it's half? No, not that one.
For the private chat.
Private chat, yeah. We'll get banned for sure.
All
right, what else y'all got? What y'all want to talk a little bit more about?
There's okay. Well, I don't have anything to send, but Kamal's an excellent Googler. The second autopsy came back on Trey Reed, the young man who was found hanged in Mississippi, who local authorities claimed that he had taken his own life. Well, the result of a second autopsy showed that Trey Reed had blunt force trauma to the back of his head. And allegedly, I'm not sure. And again, the sourcing on this is so kind of scattered. I can't remember. Did I see this on Mississippi Today or a different independent outlet? But it's being alleged that he may have had a dispute online or in person with white students at his school, Delta State. Is it university or college? I'm sorry, in Mississippi.
I think it's university.
I think it's university.
And I don't know if this is the autopsy paid for by Kaepernick. No, I don't really know if that matters.
No, it was.
And I guess, good thing, because the coroner and the, I don't know if it's the sheriff. And if I'm not mistaken, this place in Mississippi where Trey was found hanged is like, there's black people in positions, in all these positions, right? There was a black coroner / medical examiner, black sheriff.
Black pigs. All black pigs.
And they coming up with these bullshit conclusions based off this young man's first initial autopsy. So are you able to find something, Kamal?
Yeah, I read the story that one story says that despite social media rumors that the second autopsy has not been released yet.
Okay.
So I'm going to be careful about bringing up a story But I think you are correct that the autopsy was paid for by Kaepernick in terms of the I guess the nonprofit that he set up to help pay for autopsies, particularly in the case of racial violence and or police violence against Black people, and so that we don't have to rely upon the official autopsy of the state, which usually, as in this case, either backs up the idea that something like this was somehow a suicide. And this is like the third or fourth time I've heard about a hanging of a Black person and or a lynching, and the claim was that it was a suicide, which seems crazy. But by the official authorities and or through when cops have killed Black people, Kaepernick's organization has agreed to pay for, or part, I guess its mission is to pay for these autopsies.
So there was a Black man in upstate New York. I want to say this was last month, maybe Albany, New York, who was found hanged in a prominent place near the city center, if I'm not mistaken. And then I heard a story of a Black man in Albuquerque, New Mexico, also found hanged. And I think we need to pay attention to this. These are not going to be well covered, well publicized incidents. Don't count on local media to make any sort of connections to this. And don't expect the police to ever solve any of these, because you see how quick they are to write these off as suicides. And not to say that Black people don't unalive ourselves, not to say that we don't take our lives, but hanging in public, I don't think is the preferred method. There's 440 million guns in America. Why would anyone take a rope to a tree, especially if you're a Black person, especially in the context of which hanging means to us in this country? So I don't know, gang. What are you guys thinking? I mean, how can we draw attention to Black folks being hanged when the official stories are they killed themselves?
I mean, honestly, my shows like this, I not to be self-serving to this, but like, I don't know where else you're gonna find people who like critically analyze first off what the state says, and then like work to make these connections. I do think it's important that we only share what has actually been reported, because like this is saying that the autopsy has been done or is being done, but I don't think we have like the full thing. But yeah, like I think we need to. Tim, I think you're right. I think we need to be paying attention to this. To me, this is not disconnected like from this white reactionary kind of surge that we're seeing, right? This is not disconnected from Charlie Kirk and the way he was memorialized, right? And we know that this country has a long history of white racists committing violent acts in groups secretly, and then it being covered up by the cops. Like that's as American as apple pie. So I don't know, but I do, yeah. But we have to, I guess we just have to like wait for more information. I guess I don't know, but I think we do need to be calling it out and be aware of it, Kim. And
here because
say again.
Come out. Were you speaking?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to jump in, but I was going to say really quickly. The story says, according to an update to a report from the Chicago Crusader, activists who are working with the family of
Trey.
Oh, okay.
Just call him Trey.
Trey, okay. Trey Reed, and a verified source who is not authorized to comment publicly. The independent autopsy commissioned by Colin Kaepernick's Know Your Rights Camp Autopsy Initiative, which has not yet been released to the public. Again, this is according to their inside sources, will confirm that something that Black people already instinctively suspect. Reed did not die by suicide, as the Cleveland, Mississippi Police Department initially alleged. And so again, it's not the claim in this particular article, and I think other folks are suggesting, is that from talking to people on the inside, that it's going to say that he did not commit suicide.
So I guess we'll continue to follow the story. We'll bring it back up, and we'll follow stories like it.
I mean, y'all, what do you do? How do you protect yourself it's one thing to try to protect yourself from the pigs. There's know your rights, there's recording or whatever. But if you just start jawing in public with some rando whites, right? And then they start channeling their ancestors and decide they're going to do a kidnapping and a lynch. I mean, this is a common thing that happened to our folks for a very long time to the extent that it ever stopped, right? Like, so I don't know how our people protected themselves before, right? Besides just doing what you can to try to survive. But if it's 5 on 1, you know what I mean? Or whatever the disproportionate numbers of, whoever's attacking said black person, get your self-defense together as much as possible. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what to say, because I feel like we have to put out some sort of safety advisory. Like, we have to tell people, hey, make sure you got the poker on you or something on you. You know what I mean? Like, but just be aware that everywhere from New York State to Georgia to Albuquerque, New Mexico to Mississippi, like, black people are in danger here from these fucking racist ass, violent, murderous, bloodthirsty whites. Like, our people, our youth, our elders, everyone is in danger. So what do we tell people how to protect, defend? Even in the age of technology, even in the age of cell phones, you know what I mean? Tech, I don't even know if can save you these days.
I mean, just to address your question, Kim, from my understanding, from my study, we've been able to resist by being organized and by being armed. And I don't know, like, that's it. Like, I don't know any other. And I'm not saying that is foolproof. Obviously, that doesn't stop it, right? People can still catch you by yourself, right? But like that's where we have to start. And organize self-defense and get these stories out there, right? Like, I think the first part, Kim, to your point, is getting these stories out there so people know that there's this risk, that people know that this is something that's happening, right? And the cops are, covering up the truth, as they always do. They're always lying, right? And then go from there. But organization and being armed, right? Like, I want to be clear about this. Like, I don't want to I think we can very much romanticize this type of stuff, right? Like, I've been doing martial arts my entire life. To the trauma question before, I went to public school, and every single fight I got in was because of my physical disability, because of my mother was a single parent, but I had to learn how to defend myself, right? And I think the biggest thing that I've learned from competing at an amateur and a professional level, you don't know what people are capable of. And, a fight is not, it's not this casual thing that you get into, right? You get punched in the face, you taste your own blood, you get winded, right? Like, these are real things. You have to train for that. If you can't just expect to, like, be able to be prepared for something like that, especially with a group of people. And if you're dealing with a group of people, you should run. Every martial art, every self-defense thing is going to tell you, like, somebody has a weapon, or if somebody's trying to, first off, don't engage, try to get away, try to exit the situation. And if it's a group, for damn sure, you need to run away. You need to get away, right? So I think, there's, at that tactical level, we need to kind of be educating ourselves, and at the, broader level, be making people aware that this is a risk. Yeah, man, like, like, Stone, another comment, you're not John Wick, right? Like, that is a fantasy. Like, do not, don't believe the hype. You can defend yourself. There are ways to do that, but it's important not to romanticize it, and to put yourself in situations where you can train and be aware of how you react when you get punched in the face, or when you're winded, or when you're too tired. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, I don't know. That's my thought.
Go ahead.
No, you go. I'm sorry, Renee.
No, you're good. And also, like, what have we been doing for decades, right? Because these stories aren't new either, right? Like, a kid went, quote unquote, hunting with his work buddies and ended up getting, quote unquote, accidentally shot in the woods, right? This was like 2 years ago, right?
Outside Pittsburgh.
That 200 person stack of bodies they found buried in Alabama, that was years of burying people and hoping nobody found out. And so, historically, in this country, we have been in danger. And so, part of it agree with what Evan said, like kind of being aware of your own capabilities. What can you manage? How do you manage situations? How does your flight or fight response engage when things are happening around you? But also, I think it's really important that people, and this is not what Kim was doing at all, but that people don't get wrapped up in the, oh no, things are so bad right now, because things have always been bad, right? So whatever you have been doing that has kept you safe thus far, it probably means you should continue to do that thing, right? You should be engaged in other people who know like where you are. If you're going somewhere where you're going to be around unfamiliar like people or whatever, you should never just go and do that without having anybody be aware of things. And I'll just say for the record again, and I've said it multiple times in public spaces, if y'all find me hanging from a tree, it's not suicide. Period. Like, period. It's not.
I think those
Right?
disclaimers are helpful. I actually even think in this day and age they're necessary, right? Because we know what kind of stuff that the state is capable of doing and presenting and staging. You know what I mean? So yeah, if you talk that talk and you're not suicidal, please tell everybody that you're not suicidal. I'm definitely not suicidal.
I would say quickly too, like on Renee's point, that we have a history of trying to figure out where to go and where not to go, like the green books, those kind of things that folks historically have like depended upon. I was like, don't stop at this place, don't stop there. There's ways in which we historically have done the best we can, or at least attempting to do things to keep us safe as a community. And I think again, although this is not new, the force in which it's returning back to seems to be something that, again, from my generation down, have not experienced it the way in which my mother, who lived through Jim Crow, like people who we considered boomers and before, experienced racial violence on a day-to-day basis. And when I say racial violence, I'm meaning, because I think all of it is racial violence in terms of our where we're born, what hospitals we were born in, our medical care, where we live. I think all of that is obviously racial violence. But the in-your-face type of racial violence that can get you killed at a moment's notice, those numbers have decreased over the years, right, for various reasons. But it feels like we're returning to a time where you can get pulled off. And some of these stories are indicating that, right? Where you can get pulled off a street, pulled out of a car, something happens on social media and people come to your house, indiscriminate shootings in Black communities and stuff like that. So there's only thing to say is this the time to organize yourselves? And even if it's not overtly political organizations, the gun clubs that have been discussed and talked about, the training, rapid response networks, everything and anything that you can think of to keep you safe in terms of where you're going to be when you think you're going to be in danger, because those are some of the things that might keep you alive. Or we're not, again, just knowing where not to go, not it's not foolproof. None of it is foolproof, but those things matter. And again, as we have not experienced some of the things of the past, we have access to a lot of things our fathers and mothers and folks in our older community did not have. And by that, I do mean access to firearms in certain ways, which we probably didn't before. We need to train. I'm not a big prepper type of person, or you're going to train your way out or whatever without organization. But I do think in both in the individualist method as well as community and organizing method, that these things are more important than ever for us to figure out how do we protect ourselves, protect our loved ones, and protect our community.
And definitely try to tell the young people in your life, don't be lulled into this sense of integration. Oh, these are my white friends. Oh, I've known these white friends since elementary school. Like, to your point, Renee, thinking about the young man outside of Pittsburgh, I think he was a Jamaican national, right? He went hunting with his white coworkers. He was the only Black person. They killed him. Another young Black man from this area, from the Prince George's County area, I think was on a work trip on a production shooting somewhere out in Montana somewhere, disappeared. His white coworkers we don't know what happened to him. Like, I know we in 2025, all the young people got interracial friend groups. Do not let your child be the only black. Okay, don't let them be the only black going away with the other whites. Okay, wasn't there another story, y'all? Chat. What was the young black woman?
Hold on, just real quick. I want people to be very clear. Like
What?
This shit right here. I keep telling people all the time, my husband being white does not impact my blackness. So you, P-Funk 1000, can go the fuck somewhere else with your bullshit. Sorry.
Fuck that. No,
Well,
yeah.
listen, if you're gonna you got to read out the comments, Renee. You got to make this an accessible broadcast. So, what did P-Funk 1000 have to say?
He says this lady got a wild white husband. Y'all talking about with this fucking bullshit. Like, if you think that what I'm saying is irrational, that the things that I express and my love for black people and love for all the people around me, right, are bullshit. If you think all the work that I do to organize is bullshit, if you think all of it somehow is impacted by who I sleep with at night, then okay. But like, if I was married to fucking Ben Carson, I don't know how that would be better for the world. So y'all go fuck yourselves with this dumb shit.
Right on.
Facts. Wildly insincere and disingenuous. So, you know. Yeah, man. Fuck that.
Well, and then intentional misses the point of Renee's work. Is Renee out here pushing a pro-white agenda that I've just missed? Did I miss that episode of Saturdays?
It's like that's why it's disingenuous. It's like you ignore her whole entire everything you know about Renee. The reason you're here on Saturdays, none of that matters because you went to white.
It's wild. And people be like in the comments on chats. Like, I'm like, I don't even know why people are so obsessed with. There's so many black people who are fucked up. Like, seriously, be it like the melanin level to me is like, okay, like who cares who is in my house if what I'm doing all the time is to the benefit of my black people? Like, what in the fuck are we talking about right now? And not to mention, it ain't no fucking secret. Like, it's never been a secret. I've never lied about it. The man is out with me all the time at book shit. He's coming to different organizational events. He came to the AFRICOM event in Newark because he wanted to learn some more shit. Like, the man is partially obsessed with making sure he understands black people, which is why we're married.
How long y'all been
married? It couldn't have worked if it wasn't for that.
How long y'all been married? How long this man?
We have been together for 19 years and married for 14.
So this man has been cosplaying the long game. You know
the
what I'm
long
saying?
game, apparently. The long game, apparently.
The very long
out.
Like, I literally, like, he comes to so many things because he is honestly, like, he gives a shit about what's happening in the world. He really does. And I could not be married to a white person who did not feel that way. So people can be mad and all this stuff. And like somebody wrote on a comment once, like, oh, she sleeps white. I don't even know what the fuck that means. Like, yeah, like, what are we talking about right now?
Yo.
But like,
girl, can we unpack the way that certain members of the demographic don't let a black woman, don't let no penis you get be non-African. Girl, they will try to all of a sudden your neck. Oh, you a negress, you a bed witch. Oh, look at this bed witch sleeping with this man. She don't like black men. She just raising one. She don't like them though.
I know.
Renee, Cabral, Fanon, like leave them alone. Cut it out. You know what I'm saying? Cut it out. Like, we have other examples. Like, we don't need to do this. You know?
Right. Talk to him.
Meanwhile, I'm in my group chat that's a black organization trying to organize around liberation, and it's the black man coming at me, cussing me out. Like, y'all are wildin'.
When you were going through that story, when you said the man called you a misandrist, I said, oh, that's one of their favorite buzzwords.
Yo, and I was like, what the fuck does this mean? I had to go
Girl.
look it up. I had to stop and look it up because I just like all these things. There's so much anxiety in trying to attack people who don't agree with you. And look, can I be an asshole if I feel like somebody doesn't agree with me on something that's super important? Yeah, because if you look at my face and you tell me it's not a genocide, you deserve to get cussed out. Sorry, right? But at the same time, we can engage in discourse where we don't have to agree, but you don't have to call me out my name either. So there's so many things that happen within these organizing spaces that make it really difficult to be able to focus on doing the thing that needs to get done so we can just move forward. So like now, and I'm sorry, y'all, I did this whole, because I just get so annoyed with it, like distracted from the whole conversation because people are worried about who I sleep with. Like, this is nonsensical. People are dying. Our people are dying. Our people are getting like pulled, babies are getting pulled out of their house in the middle of the night and lined up because they're looking for these, you know, these quote unquote people who shouldn't be here. Like all these arguments about stuff, and we're all gonna die, like whether it be by Atlas 3I or whatever, like other thing is coming. Like,
but that's part of the problem is that I feel like too many organizing spaces, you know, I think for the first, not the first time, but I've been reevaluating, at least in my mind, like the ways in which we organize, because a lot of our spaces are so flat in a sense that everybody's opinion is supposed to be equal to every other opinion, and every person's so-called statement has to be taken as truth in and of itself, or you have to give people certain amounts of space. And it does lead to just a lot of navel gazing and a lot of finger pointing and a lot of name calling, which has nothing whatsoever to do with the reasons that somebody supposedly joined your organization to organize for their people or for their cause or for their issue, but all about sort of one-upping somebody or having a certain level of power because you got to say something about somebody. And I think far too often we fall into these traps where that's what we do. And again, it doesn't mean other people aren't having struggles and fights and everything else in their camps, but their camps are much stronger. They survive their struggles and fights and keep it moving. One bad argument in our organizations and our shit falls over on top of each other, and people are starting all over and joining some new group and doing this and doing that, but we can't even raise to a particular level of radical organization building that can actually make demands for our people, or it's big enough to have an impact on our community, which is in a lot of ways why we're losing some of the ideological fight around these Black radical left politics. And we're not as relevant to our community as we used to be because we're too busy purifying our spaces or suggesting we know everything about everyone else in these spaces, and our job is to call these spaces out and all the rest of it. So there's a large way in which we are inflicting or self-inflicting wounds on ourselves, which do not organize our community.
Well, I guess some people could be mad and say, listen, all y'all, me, Kamal, Ball got women from other countries? Like, I don't mess with no American women? What's the matter with y'all?
Oh yeah, no, I don't mess with Black American women. Let me put that.
Do y'all hear that?
I was joking. That was a joke. I mean,
I'm like, somebody's gonna clip that and you gonna be in trouble.
I was like, ooh. That was a joke.
The men are allowed to have their preferences. Men are allowed to have their preferences. Men are allowed to have their preferences unquestioned, really. You know what I mean? Like whatever reason a man gives for dating whatever race or ethnicity or nationality woman, they're usually given that grace. But when it comes to Black women, especially in our so-called dating preferences or who we end up with, like to insinuate that somehow Renee might be the sellout, it's her husband that's the race traitor. He didn't sell out.
I know. Can he go back home?
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like her husband's out his
I was
people.
also told by somebody, like, your husband's Irish. Like, could you find like a more They were like, Irish people be so like, you know, it get tricky sometimes when they get over here. But if you go to Ireland, like they bout it. Like you at least pick somebody with some good national laugh.
I know y'all eat potatoes all the time over there.
Oh,
really
damn,
do.
no. Oh,
But
damn.
he's not lying. We really do. We eat like
Wow, what? Because I got knowledge of what people eat.
He's
from
like, I
different
know the
cultures.
Irish.
Yes, they love some potatoes.
Wow.
Stop playing.
But you know what, Kamal, you should come with. I'm trying to navigate a conversation about organizing because we ended up having a really good conversation on Saturday, and so I kind of tagged Kahinde in because of what he's doing with his org. We're trying to build this national repository of information and resources. You know, maybe I'll tap you in, but only if you're gonna start answering my text messages.
As soon as we go, I'm replying right away. Reply. All I do is reply all day. All night,
Look, Evan's learned. Evan this morning was answering emails to make sure I didn't call.
I have a deep, like,
where'd you
I have a
link
deep
from?
fear of being on this thing and having an email unanswered in my mailbox from Renee. I will not have that happen. So I was like, I woke up at 7:30. I was gonna go through the list of the stories. I was like, wait a minute. I need to answer these emails.
Renee got y'all shook. Renee got y'all shook out here. Renee's
It's not
like,
gonna be me, Kim. It's not gonna be me. That's what I know. It's not gonna be
I
me.
agree. She does have us shook. I agree.
but listen, anyway, Renee, I peeped the Leo methodologies. I see what you do because she asked nice the first couple of times. She's gonna ask you nicely. And if you continue to ignore, then she got to put you up on the Summer Jam screen. See, now it's a problem.
That teacher's sternness. It's like that teacher's sternness of like, I'm not fucking around with you. Like it reaches that point. It's like, oh my bad. I'm, you know.
If there helps, it is always in a desire towards the collective movement forward.
Of course,
I do nothing. All of my
selfless. Yeah,
it's always
I
in trying to
appreciate
make sure the collective moves
I
forward.
appreciate it, Renee. Us assholes run the world. You know what I'm saying?
But she's not an asshole. She's doing
Yes,
it.
she is. An
nicely.
asshole is nah. Come on. You tell people something direct and then you label the asshole.
That's true.
But I also find that Black women particularly get labeled if they're too like I tend to be very like clear cut and concise and direct.
Why are you so bossy?
Yes, I get the bossy, the mean.
That's what I like.
You know, like all these things, and I'm like, you know, if I look different, half of what I say would not offend you. It's only because my audacity with my melanin level is problematic for people. But
I like women on that Teddy Pendergrass. Take it off. Boss me around. Hey, so what's going on Saturday, Renee?
I'm very excited because Laura Sheehy, who's often on with Millennials Are Killing Capitalism, is going to join us, and we're going to have a conversation about these quote unquote peace talks. And you know, so we're going to dig into that, and I'm actually really excited to have her on.
Okay. What about you, Kim Bridown? What you got going down?
Come hang out with me tonight for Burn It Down with Kim Brown, 7 p.m. Eastern time. I don't know. I'm on a kick. I usually do a cops ain't shit, you know, roundup from time to time, but the whites are just behaving so badly. Like I just have to show y'all all the terrible things that white people are doing across America. They've been busy, but they're busy pointing fingers when they need to be looking in the mirror. So,
okay, Evan.
Hey, A-Rob. Oh, A-Rob's primary today. Is that what I'm hearing from the chat?
I was waiting.
Sorry, Evan, I didn't mean to cut you off.
What's a primary?
So Ashley Robb is running
like quickly
in a council seat in North Carolina in the primaries today.
Oh, okay. A-Rob? Wow.
Ashley.
Yes,
I know.
I guess anybody can run. What you got going on, Cabal?
What in the what? Why?
He doesn't.
I'll be here.
Okay. Now, me and A-Rob have a thing where you always take shots, so you know I take one back. All right, so yeah, we'll be back here tomorrow.
Wait.
Evan.
I have something.
Oh, Evan, you got something going on? I forgot.
This Wednesday, October 8th, 7 to 9, PACA's ASSG, Assad Shakur Study Group, We'll be having that. I tried to put the link in, but it did not work. But we'll be talking. The title is U.S. Military Aggression from National Guard in D.C. to AFRICOM in Africa. We're doing this as part of the Shutdown AFRICOM month of action through BAP. So that is why we're focused on that. So please come through. I know many people are not in this area, so please, we have a virtual option. Sign up, come through. Yeah, appreciate that.
All right.
Shut down the Congressional Black Caucus while you at it. I can't stand none of them goofy ass niggas.
One day I'll be invited on Saturdays with Renee to go
To
back.
do what?
To be first of all, he was on Saturdays when we hit 50,000.
Yeah, I invited myself. You didn't invite me.
But that
you didn't invite me, Renee. Okay.
When would you like to come on Saturday, and what do you want to talk about? You want to talk about your Monday group, your Black Man? What is it?
Black Man Lab. Black Man
Labs.
Yeah. I feel a little bit of disrespect in the air. I feel a little. You might as well say your little group on Monday.
No, I was gonna say Black Men Build, but I knew that was not the right organization, so I didn't want to say the wrong name.
I got so much to talk about, but stay tuned. All right, we'll be back here tomorrow at 8 a.m. for some more of the Remix Morning Show. So make sure y'all tune back in, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and do all those things. Tell a friend and tell a friend it's on again. If you're not doing that, you're playing yourself.
Yes.
All right. We'll be back here tomorrow. You like that? All right. Well, we out of here.
That's a sign off from 98, sir.
Stop playing yourself.
Remix. 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 Remix.